What's up, everyone? Thanks for being here, because we've got some serious heat coming out of Los Angeles. If you're a Lakers fan, or just someone who loves following the non-stop twists of the NBA, you're going to want to hear this. The Lakers are heading into a high-stakes first-round matchup against the Timberwolves, but let's be real, it's not just about trying to get past Anthony Edwards in Minnesota. What's really at stake might just be the future of this franchise. Behind the scenes, there's a buzz forming, and it's about something big. I'm talking about a potential move that could shake the entire Western Conference, something that on the surface feels like a long shot, but when you dig deeper, starts to make a lot more sense. We're talking about the possibility of the Lakers going after Jamal Murray in the upcoming offseason. Now I know what some people are thinking. Why on earth would Denver ever consider trading their co-star, the guy who's been running the backcourt alongside Nikola Jokic? But let's zoom out for a second. Let's talk about where both teams stand, where the league is headed, and what this all could mean. First off, the Lakers are entering the 2025 playoffs with a unique mix of veteran star power, raw talent, and some very real pressure. LeBron James is still defying time and logic, playing at a level most players in their 20s would dream of. Anthony Davis? Easily one of his most consistent and healthiest seasons in recent memory. But here's the thing. That supporting cast, as promising as it's been, is still kind of a question mark. Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, and D'Angelo Russell have all had stretches where they looked like legit playoff difference makers. But we've seen this movie before, right? A decent regular season followed by a disappointing exit in the playoffs. And that's why the pressure this time feels different. There's a sense around the league that if this Lakers team doesn't deliver in the postseason, changes are coming. And we're not talking about small tweaks. We're talking about real, significant moves. And if there's one guy in the front office who's not afraid to make bold calls, it's Rob Pelinka. He was the architect behind the 2020 title squad and again pulled the trigger on some big moves before last season's trade deadline. So, there's every reason to believe he'll be ready to do it again this summer. That's where Jamal Murray enters the conversation. Rumors have already started swirling. Analysts, insiders, they're connecting the dots. And while Denver isn't actively shopping Murray, there's this sense that, depending on how things go in the playoffs, they might be more open to reevaluating their roster than people think. And don't forget, Denver already made a bold, unexpected move when they let go of head coach Michael Malone on April 8th. That sent shockwaves through the league, and it was more than just a coaching change. It was a statement. It was Denver saying, "We want more." If they fall short again, especially if they don't get out of the second round, everything could be on the table, including Murray. Now, let's talk about why the Lakers might want him. Because look, for all the potential and upside in their young core, none of those guys have shown they can carry a team deep into the playoffs like Jamal Murray. The dude is a proven performer on the biggest stage. We're talking about a guy who averages 24 points per game in the postseason, who's dropped 50 points multiple times in playoff games. That's not just impressive, it's historic. Only 4 players in league history have more 50-point games in the playoffs. He's also top 25 all-time in 40-point playoff games. So, if the Lakers are looking to make a real push for another banner, this is the kind of guy you bring in. Think about what worked for Luka Doncic during his best playoff runs. In both 2022 and 2024, he had another high-level guard next to him, someone who could create, score, and take pressure off. That blueprint worked. So, why not apply it to the Lakers? You've got LeBron and AD, 2 dominant forces in the frontcourt, but they're missing that third piece. That backcourt star who could take over when needed, hit tough shots, and relieve the burden from the big two. Reeves might be that guy one day, but he's not there yet. D'Lo has flashes but lacks consistency. Other guys on the roster are either still developing or struggle to stay on the floor. The fit is there. What the Lakers need is clear. But here's the million-dollar question. What would it take to make it happen? You'd likely need to give up some real assets. Probably a couple of young talents, some draft picks, maybe a key rotation player just to match salaries. Is that worth it? It depends on how much value Denver places on a reset, how motivated they are to retool around Jokic with more depth, and how much stock the Lakers place in winning right now. Because make no mistake, their window isn't wide open forever. LeBron turns 40 next season. Anthony Davis is still elite. But his injury history means nothing is guaranteed. If there's a chance to bring in a battle-tested, playoff killer like Murray, the front office might feel the time is now. Of course, it's a risk. Jamal has dealt with injuries, including that brutal ACL tear that sidelined him for an entire year. But when he's healthy, he's one of the most explosive guards in the league. He's got that killer mid-range, can drain threes under pressure, and creates shots that very few guys can. That kind of shot-making matters in the playoffs, where defenses tighten up and every possession becomes a grind. Imagine the lineup. Jamal Murray running point, LeBron facilitating and orchestrating, AD controlling the paint, and shooters spaced around them. That's not just a good team, that's a real threat. Versatile, dangerous, and built to score when it matters most. And don't underestimate what a move like this could do for the locker room. It sends a message. You're going all in. You're not here just to be competitive. You're here to win titles. That kind of energy can fire up veterans, elevate role players, and bring focus when the pressure's highest. Plus, the Lakers fan base, one of the loudest, most passionate in the world. Add a star like Murray, and you're selling out arenas, lighting up highlight reels, and becoming must-watch TV every night. Now, timing is everything. The Lakers can't jump the gun, but they also can't afford to be late to the table. They've got to monitor Denver's playoff exit, track Murray's mindset, and be ready the moment there's even a hint of availability. Because in the NBA, the teams that win big are the ones that move first, not the ones that react after the market shifts. And if the Lakers front office is locked in, they'll already be watching closely, ready to pounce if the stars align. Now let's take this idea even further. If the Lakers do manage to land Jamal Murray, this wouldn't just be a flashy move to make headlines. It could completely redefine how the team closes games. Suddenly, you're looking at a squad that can finish fourth quarters with size, shooting, playmaking, and, more importantly, playoff experience. That's the kind of closing lineup that causes serious problems for opposing defenses. But beyond the numbers and the logistics, there's something even more valuable this move could bring to the table: mentorship. We've got one of the greatest basketball minds in history still lacing up his sneakers. That's a resource you don't waste. A young star like Murray could grow in ways we haven't seen yet under the guidance of LeBron James. Learning how to lead, how to prepare, how to carry yourself through an 82-game season and then hit another gear in the playoffs. That knowledge transfer could elevate Murray from star to franchise cornerstone. Just imagine what that could mean for the next chapter of this team, especially if LeBron eventually decides to take a step back or retire. For the coaching staff, this opens up an entirely new playbook. We've already seen glimpses of what this team can do with creative rotations and flexible lineups. But adding someone with Murray's skill set takes that versatility to a whole other level. You could run more complex offensive sets, exploit mismatches, and better withstand cold shooting nights from your top options. And if something happens to one of your key stars, an injury, or even just fatigue down the stretch, you've still got two high-level players who can keep you competitive deep into the postseason. The kind of stability is rare in today's league, and it's exactly what separates contenders from everyone else. Another thing to consider is how good this front office has been at finding hidden gems. Undrafted guys, veterans thought to be washed, players who just needed the right system to shine. This organization has shown time and again that it can reload the bench with smart, team-friendly contracts. So even if a Murray deal means parting with some depth, there's confidence that the Lakers can rebuild around their new core. That's the kind of long-term vision that keeps your championship window open while still leaving room for growth. Now, from Denver's side, it's not an easy call. Jamal Murray has been through a lot with that franchise. He's battled back from a serious injury, helped them win a title, and has been a loyal soldier alongside Jokic. But this is a league that moves fast. If the Nuggets feel like they've hit a ceiling with their current build, and especially if the chemistry starts to shift or they underperform again, it might be time to explore a reset while his value is still high. Younger assets, more draft capital, and financial flexibility could be appealing if they're thinking about how to stay competitive for the next 5 years, not just the next 1 or 2. There's also the human side of this. Murray gave everything to the city of Denver. He grinded through a long recovery, came back stronger, and delivered in the biggest moments. But if the atmosphere starts to feel off, if the losses pile up or the locker room begins to drift, that's when even the most loyal players start to look around. Sometimes, a new setting is exactly what a player needs to unlock their next level. And where better to chase that than in LA, under the lights, wearing that iconic purple and gold. Think about the spotlight that comes with this kind of move. Every game becomes a national story. Every rematch with Denver becomes must-see television. You're not just talking about basketball anymore. You're talking about creating an event night after night. That's something only a few franchises understand, and the Lakers are at the top of that list. They know how to make moves that impact the culture, the headlines, and the scoreboard all at once. And there's a deeper beauty in all of this, too. You've got a legend nearing the twilight of his career, still playing at a ridiculous level, wanting to leave with another ring. And on the other side, you've got a star guard in his prime, ready for the spotlight, ready to lead, maybe even ready to step into that franchise face role one day. That kind of handoff doesn't happen often in sports. But when it does, it can set you up for a decade. There's also the truth that what worked for 5 years might not work anymore. Even elite cores sometimes reach their limit. Sometimes great players need a new system, a new voice, a fresh start. This could be that moment for Murray. While some fans would hate to lose promising young players in a deal like this, the reality is that raw potential doesn't always translate in the playoffs. Experience does. Playoff composure does. And Jamal Murray? He's already proven he has that. If the goal is to raise a trophy by the summer of 2026, it makes a lot of sense to pair two already established stars with a third who's got the resume to back it up. And let's not forget how tough the Western Conference still is. Some of the veteran teams might be aging, but they're far from finished. And a whole new wave of up-and-coming squads is starting to make noise. This isn't just about building for the now. It's about staying relevant and staying dangerous for the long haul. And here's another key element that often gets overlooked. Jamal Murray doesn't need the ball in his hands to be effective. He's not one of those guards who stops the offense if he doesn't have control. He's elite at moving off the ball, cutting at the right time, working off screens, and finding open space in the half court. That's exactly the kind of player who fits next to LeBron. He doesn't clash with the system. He enhances it. He complements the playmakers and makes the offense more fluid, especially when the pace slows down late in games. Culturally, he's also a guy who fits. He's tough. He plays with emotion. He rises in big moments. And that edge is something the Lakers have missed in certain stretches, especially when things get tight in the fourth quarter and no one's ready to take over. You bring a guy like Murray, and that tone changes. The team gets a shot of adrenaline, and suddenly those clutch minutes don't feel as shaky. There's confidence. There's belief. Looking at the salary cap beyond this season, there's reason for optimism too. If LeBron decides to retire or even take a pay cut, the Lakers could reset their financials and build around Murray and Davis without crossing into the punitive luxury tax thresholds. That's a core with staying power. 2 stars under contract, with enough flexibility to chase the right role players in free agency. And don't underestimate how attractive that makes you to other stars. Players around the league want to join contenders. They want to team up with guys who are proven winners. If the Lakers land Murray and keep winning, they instantly become a top destination for free agents moving forward. Now, imagine this from a fan's perspective. Seeing Jamal Murray in that gold and purple jersey, that's electric. He's built for the postseason. He thrives under pressure. He's already shown he could take over playoff games and make history while doing it. And under the bright lights of Los Angeles, with the world watching, who's to say he doesn't take another leap? The opportunity is there. It might not last long, but if the moment comes and it feels right, it's up to the Lakers to pick up the phone. Because you don't waste another year of greatness. You go all in. You make the call. And you remind the world why this franchise is built on banners, legends, and fearless decisions. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on, the potential arrival of Jonas Valanciunas to the Los Angeles Lakers is a storyline that has captured the attention of NBA fans across the league. With the Lakers in need of bolstering their front court and adding more depth at the center position, Valanciunas could be the missing piece in their quest for another championship. Known for his dominant presence in the paint, both offensively and defensively, Valanciunas would bring a physicality that has been lacking in the Lakers roster. But what does this mean for the team's immediate future, and how might it affect their championship aspirations? Valanciunas, who has been a staple in the NBA since being drafted by the Toronto Raptors in 2011, has seen his fair share of teams and experiences. From his time with the Raptors to stints with the Memphis Grizzlies, New Orleans Pelicans, and now the Sacramento Kings, the Lithuanian center has built a reputation as a reliable and efficient big man. His ability to dominate in the low post, combined with his surprising three-point shooting ability, would make him a versatile weapon for the Lakers. His career-high 39-point performance against the Los Angeles Clippers last season is just a glimpse of his potential when given the freedom to operate offensively. However, the intrigue surrounding Valanciunas' potential move to Los Angeles stems beyond his stats and skill set. It's about what he could bring to the Lakers' locker room. Valanciunas is a seasoned international player, a former Eurobasket silver medalist, and a key member of the Lithuanian national team. His leadership and experience on the big stage could provide the Lakers with an added layer of veteran presence, especially in moments of high pressure during the playoffs. With LeBron James and Anthony Davis already leading the charge, adding a player like Valanciunas could help stabilize the team's front court and create a more dynamic scoring attack. But the logistics of this move are not simple. After being traded to the Sacramento Kings in early 2025, Valanciunas is still under contract, and the Lakers would need to work out a trade or free agency deal to bring him to Los Angeles. The Lakers' front office will need to navigate the complexities of their cap space, roster spots, and draft picks. However, given the team's championship window and their need for a reliable center, pursuing Valanciunas makes a lot of sense. A trade for the Lithuanian big man could be the key to elevating the Lakers' chances in an increasingly competitive Western Conference. For the Lakers, the addition of Valanciunas is not just a strategic move on the court, it's a statement. The franchise is all in on competing for another NBA title, and adding a player of Valanciunas' caliber could be the final puzzle piece they need. As the offseason progresses and the trade rumors continue to swirl, it will be fascinating to see if the Lakers can pull off a deal to bring the Lithuanian center to Hollywood. If so, the NBA might just witness another powerful pairing in the West that could make the Lakers even more formidable as they push for championship glory. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.